I don't want someone else to decide what my future's going to look like. I'm going to be the one to decide that, and I don't feel like I'm done. Is she seriously playing the victim card? Wow. How modern of her. That's all this generation ever does. Everyone's a victim. It's always the world is against us. The deck was stacked against me. As soon as I walked into the room, that person had a vendetta against me, and that's why I didn't get the job. Nobody's ever taking responsibility for any of their mistakes, any of their failings. It's always somebody else's problem. We're all victims. For Shelby to be saying this now is shameful. It's embarrassing at this point. And I could go on about this for 20 minutes. In fact, I have. This is my sixth take of it because it's taken too long every time. And if people want me to go on for 20 minutes, I will. I'll make a YouTube video, happily. I'll try to make this as short as possible. I don't know if it's going to be sweet, but I'll make it as short as possible. Shelby cheated, plain as day. It was shown multiple times in multiple investigations that her claims saying that the anabolic steroid was in her system because of tainted meat from a burrito truck, shown multiple times that this was a bald-faced lie. Made absolutely no sense. Her levels were way too high. They were 2 to 3 times higher than the highest levels seen in people who ate double the amount of meat. Bald-faced lie. She cheated. End of discussion. Now we could get into a whole thing here where, from my end, I actually don't really care how the anabolic steroids got into her system, whether it was some tainted meat or tainted supplement, or if she actually took them, which we know she did. But to me, it's actually kind of irrelevant how they got in, right? If you test positive for a banned substance, banned. End of discussion. There's no wiggle room on this, okay? And actually, I think banned for life is the fair thing. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's like, hey, sometimes life isn't fair. Tough noogies, right? But my problem here is for her to come back and not be taking any responsibility for it, not be apologizing and saying I'm sorry to her competitors and everyone that she let them down and that she cheated. For her to be taking this other side where she's still like, oh, the world's against me and, you know, the deck was stacked against me, and this quote here of I'm not letting somebody else decide my future, it's still like, so you haven't changed at all. You're still the same cheater, right? You're still the same dishonest person. You haven't learned from it at all. Some people, they get convicted of doping or whatever, and then they go through this journey where they learn about themselves. For her, she's still like on this thing of, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. It's still this burrito. It's like, just admit it. It's over. Admit it. And then, of all things, with all this going on, for the biggest running network out there, FlowTrack, to be documenting this return, her return to sport, as if it's like the prodigal son returning, and it's this epic return. It's like, it's mind-boggling. Like, what kind of a message does this send to young athletes? That they can dope, serve a short little ban, and by the way, train the whole time. Like we see from this that Shelby didn't lose a step. She was only like 5 seconds off her PB, right? So like let's just say, you know, I'll take EPO up to the gills. If I'm a kid out there, I'll take EPO as much as I can, right? Make some huge gains. I'll get a little bit of a ban. I'll train the whole time and keep those adaptations. Those adaptations will carry through my training. It's not like they're going to go disappear, right? I'll keep some of those adaptations, right? I'll train like crazy over the period of the ban, and then I'll come back and be a superstar. And the kicker is that it's not like I'm going to get barred from races or anything. No. The biggest running network out there is actually going to document my return to sport. And so I'm going to get millions of eyeballs on me and potential sponsors. That is just ridiculous. It's shameful and disgusting because there are thousands, probably tens of thousands of runners out there with zero sponsorship, no flow track coming to any of their workouts, and they're working out in the dark, just praying to make it. And we have a known cheater, someone who bald-faced lied about it, having an entire documentary series about it and getting millions of views because of it. and going to be probably accepted into tons of races because, it's going to be a talking point or whatever, right? Who cares? Anyways, I can keep going. It's just, there are so many layers to this that I look at it from the very beginning to now, and for her to be taking this stance, to me, it was just like, I was completely like, wow. I cannot believe. Well, I actually can, sorry, as I said at the beginning, because that's all we do nowadays. Everyone's a victim. If you make a mistake, and she did, owe up to it. Everyone knows you cheated, Shelby. Everyone knows it. Owe up to it and say I'm sorry. And then, maybe, I would have a slight interest in your return to sport. Even though, in my opinion, it should be banned for life. But at least I would say, at least she finally admitted it. This is wrong what she's doing.